Listening to Together FM, and right now you're listening to the Songwriter Club show. I'm Clara MacDonald, and in the studio today we have Robert O'Connor.
What's up, Clara?
So Robert, you're back. You were one of my first guests on the Songwriter Club show about a year ago. I think it was it the end of May, or when was it? Can you remember?
It would have been, I was releasing my second single of last year, so it would have been, I think, June maybe.
June, okay.
Yeah, May or June.
Very good.
Yeah, and we were talking about how quick the years were going, and here we are again, another year.
Years, yeah, centuries nearly. Oh, time is just speeding up. Scary. So your second single was No Second Chances. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And
I saved that one.
how was the reception for that?
It was great. It was probably the best reception I've ever had, to be honest. And that was the song that actually made me come back in the first place, but I didn't release it as the first single because I kind of wanted to build up a little bit before getting to that point. I didn't want to sort of blow the song. I wanted to really be in a good position by the time I got around to releasing it, and I was in a pretty good position. I had, by that point, like I was learning with every single last year from the mistakes that I had made, but and because I was doing everything myself as well, it was definitely a learning process. But with the first single, You Found Me, I built up quite a bit of contacts, and I already had a few contacts from before.
Yeah.
But last year was all about meeting people and just talking to people about the music and going around to local radio and local
And you did
press.
a lot of that. I could see all that on social media, yeah.
It was just constant, and it had to be. Like
Yeah.
it was for me last year. The reason why, I kind of briefed myself at the beginning of the year and said, right, this year is going to be about networking and building a foundation and an online presence, which I didn't have at all. So having this new music, you can just throw it out there on streaming and on iTunes, and it's kind of just in a sea of music. And I've spoken about this so many times. We've spoken about this.
Yeah.
It's about actually breaking through the noise and showing people not just who you are musically, but getting people to know you on a personal level.
Yeah, and that's the thing I've been thinking about and talking about a lot to people the last while is how much do you show, especially with Instagram and everything,
You show it all, Clara.
Yeah, like Cardi B, just make
Give them
love
what
on
they
a
want.
live stream, do it the right way. No,
I don't think we have massive choice anymore. I think you can be reserved and you can pull back and say.
Or do you
I'm
show
not
a
gonna-
fake version of yourself? That's the thing.
I don't think so. I think that's
Some people
quite
do.
transparent. Well, I
And
think
people
a
see
ton
through
of
it.
people
That's
do.
the thing. Okay. But tell me about the recording process, because you literally just finished, didn't you?
Yeah, just finished, and actually it was about 3 weeks ago we started, and I had been sending Stuart Gray, who produced the 3 singles last year, some ideas and a couple of tracks that were reference points, and they were very different to what I brought to the table last year.
Okay,
So,
were they surprised?
yeah, he was. I think I was really apprehensive about sending stuff. I was very. I knew exactly what I wanted with this track, and because it's a standalone single as opposed to part of a greater EP or anything like that.
Yeah.
I felt kind of a level of freedom to create what I wanted to create without any sort of compromises or. And as well being completely independent, you don't have anybody to say no. So ultimately, it stops with you, but the producer obviously. They have to interpret what it is that you want based on you saying, hey, I love these drums, hey, can we get some of those synths?
Yeah.
So, I definitely had, I went in with some reference points, and surprisingly, Stuart was really into it. We did incorporate a little bit of electronic on You Found Me early last year. It was more like an 80s, very understated electronic element. This is obviously a lot more electronic than anything I've done before. And I wanted I'd been listening to a lot of kind of early noughties, late 90s electronica and kind of William Orbit stuff and Cafe Del Mar and like just nothing that's remotely on trend, but at the same time I think we've managed to bring that into now in a sense.
Yes, of course. But some of that stuff was quite timeless though.
I think so, yeah, and it's what I've always loved and I've always listened to, and I've always spoken about how much I love that type of music, and I've never actually made it. So I kind of thought, maybe now is the time. I have this opportunity to do exactly what I want. I've kind of got the attention of radio to a point now, and of some of the bloggers and a certain public. So I thought, show them exactly what it is that I want to make, and see what the reaction is, and it's fun to do it that way, to to really, like, I was definitely a lot more involved in the production this time. We were sitting there choosing synths and we did distorted guitar samples and things like that, and everything was very experimental. And we went in a couple of directions with it. At one point, it was more like a kind of disco vibe, so it was a little bit like a real kind of soul disco, almost The Weeknd kind of beats.
Yes.
And then it just felt very hollow and it felt a bit trendy, but not in a good way. It felt a bit too bandwagony.
Would you be up for doing a remix of it, or is it?
There's definitely remixes happening. So today I was talking to people about remixes. So a couple of people that were involved last year in the Euphemia remixes are coming back, and I'm not sure how many there's going to be, but there's definitely going to be a really cool like summery tropical remix coming, which I think will be great. And the guy who's doing that, he's really excited to do it as well. So because I didn't remix the last two singles because they were kind of ballads and they just were better left alone. So this is the opportunity now to go bangers o'clock with the remixes.